Hey, perhaps the biggest immigration win of the year for Trump, actually. The Supreme Court today ruling that Trump can, in fact, remove Haitians under, or other people actually, as well, under the programs like temporary protected status. Bye-bye. Just go. Get them out. Turns out that, and the Supreme Court can read, actually, which is, I know, right? The left didn't realize that. But I know this is driving liberal meltdowns everywhere, but turns out temporary actually means temporary. The literal text of this rule that was allowing these Haitians to stay in mass in this country. This is from the U.S. Citizens and Immigration Services website under the Immigration Act of 1990. And it's been labeled this way since 2010, when this specific program came into existence. You know about this? This is great. Well, it's not great for Haitians, but the irony is great. In 2010, remember that the 7.0 earthquake that hit Haiti killed like 300,000 people, basically knocked down every building in the country. Didn't hold a candle, by the way, to the Fukushima, Japan earthquake of 9.0 that they recovered from relatively quickly, even with a nuclear meltdown. But hey, building codes, right? Anyway, so Haiti, with no building codes, was basically destroyed. Hillary Clinton funneled, I don't know, a casual few $1 billion of State Department funds into that area when she was Secretary of State, some of which went to her brother's company. Some went to her friends, and they were given the first outside mining contracts ever. And as a result, the housing they promised to rebuild, weird that a program that Hillary initiated didn't actually do what it said. They never built anything in Haiti almost. So Haiti stayed a complete dump after that. So Obama then gave them temporary protected status to come here in America under that law. Now, this is an executive action. This has become one of the longest standing TPS programs since the law's inception. Then in November of 2017, in Trump's first term, he then terminated it and said, look, guys, you've been here too long. You got to go back. And the libs spazzed. One of them sued Trump and saying, oh, you can't do that to us. We deserve to be here. Okay, fine, whatever. I disagree. But anyway, 3 months later, in 2018, as you can see in January, there was that infamous leak from a closed-door meeting where Trump allegedly called Haiti, among other countries, a bunch of S-holes, which, let's be honest, they are. But they then left, the left just like came rushing in to say how beautiful Haiti is.
It's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, but it's, you know, a country can be poor economically and rich in culture and rich in the strength of the people and rich in so many different ways. And Haiti is in that way among the richest of countries I've ever been to.
Haiti is a beautiful country with beautiful people.
Well, I just visited the country and I saw the beauty of the place and the amazing resiliency of the people there and the culture, and I was really taken with it.
Slow down there, Zoolander, which is funny because in the lawsuits, while all these stars like Zoolander over there are going out and saying this is great, those same people who are trying to keep the Haitians here in like Miat versus Trump, literally saying widespread gang violence, collapsed government and rule of law, you got humanitarian crisis, lack of medical care, mass displacement, and ongoing insecurity preventing nationals from returning in safety. Stars saying one thing, lawsuits saying another thing. So everybody with an IQ above, like, I don't know, 40 was like, hey, which one is it? Sounds like a dump. This is why I don't take anything liberals say seriously. So for the last 9 years, this legal battle has been like going on and on and on. They were allowed to stay here while that played out. So it finally gets to the Supreme Court today, who reached the conclusion that because one president put it in under executive action, because that's the law, the next president can also terminate it. And again, the whole temporary thing. It's been 15 years. That's not temporary, which is funny because another part of the amicus brief, which an amicus brief is a supporting document that someone else files on behalf of one side in a case. So on behalf of the Haitians that were challenging this, this is great. TPS holders live with approximately 390,000 U.S. citizen children for Haitians alone. The most recent data shows that approximately 270,000 U.S. citizens were living with Haitian TPS holders. Signed, a bunch of libs like Letitia James and other blue state officials. So I guess my only question is, if you, as a Haitian, were here by our good graces on a temporary protected status, why would you make permanent decisions? Or why would you not at least apply during that 15 years for some sort of permanent status, especially if you have kids, by the way? You see that the Supreme Court did not fall for the emotional arguments here, which is great because it has nothing to do with the law. But further, the basis for the claim that deporting Haitians would somehow upend the economy, which that's what the left is claiming here. It's so ridiculous because our immigration laws should not and are not based on poorly made decisions of people who are temporary guests here. Because I don't care what the Haitian side is. I care what the law says. The people, the same people who said the same thing about Somalis, too. Remember when Brandon Gill, who's going to be on in just a bit, Gill asked a state senator from one of the highest concentration areas of Somalians, he asked her, how do they help the economy?
Senator Antonio, thank you for being here. Has Somali immigration been good for Ohio?
You know, that's really outside of my purview of
You're a state senator. Would you like to see more immigration from Somalia?
as far as I'm processing your question.
Yeah, she never actually answered that because it's the same thing with Haitians by and large. They ain't working at SpaceX, folks. Let's be honest. Yes, they work because that's how you earn money. And a key foresight, thank God, at 1990 they figured this one out. But they said, you're not eligible for most of American public benefits if you're here on a temporary protected status. But I have the sneaking suspicion that capitalism will somehow find a way to fill those vacated jobs, which are mostly entry level. The left pitched this mass influx as Haitian as growth, too. I love this one. They did this in the same state, in Ohio. But you have to scroll all the way down in that same article to find out their meaning of growth. Basically, it means that spiking house prices and goods and things like that because there was a shortage. Because the one benefit that a lot of these TPS people were eligible for was housing. And what it did was they got those benefits and it priced regular lifelong residents of some of these towns out of the market. But this is great. The Supreme Court went further from just siding with the Trump administration on this one. They found that the courts have no authority to review this termination, not now, not then, not ever. Basically saying this case is over and can never be challenged again. The only question left, how fast can we get these people out of here?
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.